I went into it so excited, got there early. We had some sushi beforehand, was trying to plan the wheel prizes. And I didn't eat all day. So no food. I drank one protein shake. It was 150 calories. That's all I had. And then I had the sushi. I don't think sushi is a lot of calories either. Now that I think about it.
The sushi, now I'm starting to connect some dots.
You connecting them. So I had this sushi, and then we made these drinks called Dirty Dr. Peppers. Okay, so it was Dr. Pepper and cherry vodka. That's all it was. You're supposed to add grenadine. We didn't have the grenadine, so we didn't add it, right? Well, my good friend Betty Bango pours the drinks, and she's saying she poured them heavy. And I guess she was doing 4 ounces of it. I mean, I'm just breaking it down in my head. I don't know how many ounces, but if it was 4 ounces of vodka, she would put 4 ounces of soda. It was a 50-50 ratio instead of like doing a dab. And I said, this is a little strong. And she's like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So I was like, okay. So I start drinking. We started, 7? We were a little late to start, 7:15 maybe, 7:20 at the latest. I tell you what, I don't think I was going hard. I think I was pacing myself. And I think I only had like 2 full drinks. But at one point, I felt like I had to go pee. Had to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Now, I remember almost everything except for when you told me they handed me a bag of Doritos. I don't remember.
Okay, you don't remember that one at all?
No, I don't remember Doritos. But I remember having to go pee. I go upstairs. I go to the bathroom. I come out and I say to Betty, I'm going to get sick. And she goes, what? And I said, it's coming. I'm going to get sick. So she goes and she gets like a 12-foot tall trash can. It was so tall. I mean, not to gross you guys out, I got sick in the trash can about 10 times.
Oof.
Constantly throwing up. Don't know what triggered it. Again, I had 2 drinks. Now, I'm not a vodka drinker. I never, you know me, I like my Fireball. For whatever reason, I wanted to switch it up this year. That drink can go to hell. I'm not drinking that ever again. That was terrible.
The drink can just go to hell.
The drink can go to hell. Yeah, I continuously got sick. And then after I was all done, cleared out my system, I started trembling that I was freezing. And I kept saying, I feel like I'm in a snowbank or a snowdrift or something. I felt like I was outside in the freezing cold and I could not get warm. And I was on the floor and I remember I'm freezing and my head's in this trash can full of puke. And it was just the worst way. The worst way to start the year. This is only like 9 o'clock, 9:30. I don't even think we signed for 2 hours. I got deathly sick. And it was like it hit me like a truck out of nowhere. So I remember they got me blankets. They got me these 2 blankets. They wrapped me up and they put me on the couch. And I said, I have to sit down for a minute. I completely passed out. Next thing I know, I open my eyes and Betty's laying next to me. She's watching Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve or Ryan Seacrest with Lenny Kravitz is on the TV. It was like 11:30 at night. And I go, oh my God, my signing. It's like, I missed it. I don't know what happened. I don't understand it. I apologize. This was not my intention. Every year I go to 12:30 and I sign for 6 hours. I didn't even make it 2 hours this year. I don't know if it was a combination of the sushi and that drink that my stomach was still kind of empty, but let me tell you how great my husband is. So I wake up several times during the night, have to go pee. My equilibrium's off. We just stayed over the house. We didn't drive home. I wake up at 4:52 in the morning. I can't go back to sleep. And I'm sitting there and I look at Betty and I'm like, let's just go to my house and have some coffee because nothing was open.
Right.
We get here, start to have some coffee, whatever. And my husband comes downstairs and he has a list.
Oh, jeez.
He he has a list of foods for me to eat before I consume alcohol that will help me absorb everything so I won't get sick when I drink.
Wow.
Instead of being like, you stupid bitch, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. He was like, this is what you have to do next time. And I was just like,
Man, send that list this way.
tell me about now. I tell you guys all the time, I don't drink a lot. Like, I never drink when I sit at home. It's only New Year's Eve when I do these shows, or if I'm out for a girls' weekend or something, or I'm on the road, because then I have a couple cocktails. But I've never puked. Like, the last time I threw up was that like 4 years ago at the Borgata when I threw up at the buffet.
But the buffet still has your picture up on the wall.
And Betty just grabbed me and drugged me out of there. Like, we didn't even eat. That was like 4 or 5 years ago. That was a long time ago. That's like probably the last time that I can remember me getting deathly sick like that. So again, I apologize. I will announce the new date is this coming. Well, it would be tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
When this airs. So tomorrow evening, which is Wednesday. What's the date? The
8th.
The 8th. Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Wednesday the 8th at 7 p.m. And is that it? Yeah. We're going to try it again. Yes, you're right. Wednesday the 8th. So you could still purchase 8x10s. There's still going to be ring worn. I sold one ring worn. There was a bid on the second thing I put up, and then that's when the shit hit the fan, and the Doritos were in my hand, and I don't remember them being in my hand, and I exited stage right to go to the bathroom, and all hell broke loose. So we're going to try it again. So there's a mystery wheel. Buy a spot for $50. Some of the prizes are well worth over $50. You get to play truth or dare. Every prize is worth $50, but some are more. So you never know what you're going to get. And there's a ton of 8x10s, and you could seal it with a kiss, and you're supporting the queen. And I do apologize, and I'm very embarrassed, and I'm very sorry, but I still, for the life of me, don't know what happened. I just don't. Terrible.
I was concerned. You know, I checked in a couple of times to see how the signing was going.
Yes.
I could see the enjoyment, you know.
Could you see the decline? Because my husband.
But I could also see the decline happening very steadily.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was, you know, then I paused it because I was watching something. I was watching Sopranos, and I, you know, play, but I was moving forward. And when I went forward, I went all the way, and it was the Signed by Superstars graphic. I'm like, I missed something. So I went backwards, and that's where I saw where they were like trying to arrange you to get something to eat. Then you were taken off the screen, and I was like, I said, that's when I sent you a text. I said, enjoy whatever you're about to eat. And,
they stuck a piece of pizza in my mouth.
That was it, the pizza. I was like, enjoy your pizza.
And I was like, ew, I don't want this. It tasted horrible. I don't know where it was from or what it was. I just didn't want it. And then that's when I just started vomiting. But
I'm going to say the sushi would have been the culprit. You should have had something else.
It was delicious going down. But man, once it settled and then I drank a little bit, not good. And so I had Hack Sandman. You good? You good? Are you okay? Yeah. Todd Gordon, is she all right? Is she going to be? Are you okay? Shane said his phone blew up. Everybody was telling, because he was out doing a show. And he said, he called me the next morning and he said, what happened? And then he was laughing at me. But he seems to think, because he almost was a doctor now. He went to medical school. He seems to think that I had some type of food poisoning, because when you get the shivers after, he said the sushi might have been bad. And I said, It didn't taste bad. It tasted delicious. And he said it didn't agree with you, and something mixed up that wasn't right. I don't know, but oh my God, I just was.
I just watched it on The Sopranos where Tony had the food poisoning, and it sounds exactly like how you were.
Oh man, yeah, because it wasn't like I did. Like I remember we poured a shot because we were supposed to do shots for the wheel, and then something happened, and the shots were there the next morning. We did not drink the shots. So I didn't even have, I only had the cups, and I'm pretty sure I only had 2. but she said, "Oh, it were heavy pores," and I was just like, oh, Lord.
Well, how about go lighter on the pores next time,
I know
Betty?
I will partake tomorrow, but it's not going to be like that. And I'm going to eat plenty. So my stomach's going to be full. I'm going to sip it like a dainty lady. We're still going to have a good time.
Our tea, little tea.
Yeah, right. Signedbysuperstars.com tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please come and join me. I will make up for it. I promise you. But what a way to start 2025. I'm such an idiot, man. I'm so sorry, guys. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. So
you're not an idiot. It just, it happens. One bad thing leads to another. Obviously, if the sushi was bad and then you're starting to partake in alcohol, one thing's just going to lead to another. It's going to make it worse. So I've been there. I know what it's like. So, look, my heart's going out to you without a shadow of a doubt. So
I think everybody who has drank at least once in their life has experienced something like this.
But wow, yeah, we had a rough couple of days there. I'm
telling you. I wonder though, if I didn't eat that sushi, if I would have been fine. Like if I had something else in my system, because it was just coming back up. I don't want to gross anybody out, but I was like, this is sushi.
Oh no, you're not doing that already. So what else can you say about it?
My sexy image is going to pot. Yeah, so that was the way I rung in my new year. But we'll take two tomorrow. We're calling it take two. So
take two.
Yeah, tomorrow 7 p.m.
Yes, but, I saw there are people who got their autographs, but not their kisses. They need to get their kisses completed.
Did you hear that?
I saw. Well, I mean, I was watching. I saw what was going on.
Yeah, one guy hit me up on Twitter and he was like, yeah, you signed it, but you forgot to kiss it. I was like, honey, just tell them and we'll do it Wednesday, please. I don't even know all I remember is I said, oh my God, I have a bid. And then I don't remember.
The boots, right? Was it the boots?
Boots sold, but then I put up another outfit, and then there was a bid on that outfit. I said, "Oh, I have a bid," and that's the last thing I did downstairs that I remember. Yeah.
Good night.
Goodbye. Had to pee and then throw up and go to bed. So that was
they all say.
What's that?
I said that's what they all say.
Yeah, of course. But anywho, feel better today. 5 million days later. I needed a full week to recoup. Yeah. So anyway, new year, new us. We are trying to present a new format, so to speak, adding new things, trying different strategies, just trying to make the podcast better and more to your liking. So again, if anybody has any suggestions or any topics they want to hear that they want us to cover, any guests that you want us to try and get, you can let us know. Hit us up on here, hit us up on socials, and we'll try to make that happen. One thing I did try and do, and in a way it was good that you did get sick, because this is a segue. We were going to do a live for our YouTube channel, and we were going to do a watch along with WWE Vault channel. And it wasn't like a partnership, but we were just going to do a watch along. They were live streaming. They were calling it the Lost ECW Arena Show from, what was the date? Go down again. June.
It is June 24th, 2006.
Okay. June 24th, 2006. This was the first house show at the ECW Arena. And, I said, we'll live stream it. And then you had the flu and you were deathly sick. So I said, we're calling it off. Thank God we did, because my segment was cut out. And that, I don't know why. But we're going to, a new segment on this show.
Say what?
I mean, say what? Why? Tell me why.
Can't even believe that. What's the point of that?
First of all, okay, I realized it wasn't the whole show. It was a lot of choppiness. I watched the whole broadcast. It was on for about an hour, right? I watched it live. they were going in order. So you had sent me the lineup. So I knew my segment was third.
Right.
And in the beginning, they showed everybody cutting little promos, and I cut a little, they showed me for about 10, 15 seconds saying, nice to be back here. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's to expect, blah, blah, blah. And that's all you saw. So if we would have did the live stream, we would have looked like idiots because I wasn't even on the show, according to them. I don't understand why they cut the girls out. And everybody in the comments were saying maybe it's too extreme for what they are showing nowadays. It was just a bikini contest, though.
Right.
I don't remember. I think like Mike Knox comes out and like shoves me and pie faces me, and I took a bump outside of the ring. But other than that, I didn't see why it was so extreme or bad or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I had seen. The finish or the end of the segment was that Mike Knox comes out, which leads into the next match. But they showed clips of the next match with Balls and Mike Knox.
Right into the next match.
Why wouldn't they just show that happening leading into the next match?
Because I was
zero sense.
I was in a bikini. I don't know. We were all in bikinis, So people in the chat were upset. Guys were upset that wanted to see it. I don't know. I tweeted WWE the next day and asked them why, and I got no response, obviously. So I don't know what the deal was. I guess
it was a great pick. Now we got to go back 2-3 weeks before. We said when we took our little break before the new year, we might pop in with a couple things here and there. And we did something about the WWE Vault. And our whole topic was they need ECW content. And if we did see ECW content, what would it be? And one of the things we said was the unaired stuff that they filmed that they never put out. You said, bloopers and backstage production footage and backstage stuff from the original ECW. Well, we saw that pop up. And I said stuff like this that they had filmed, maybe even from the WWE era. And they got it. This is the biggest thing that they filmed during that era. And they put it out. But I just could not believe that they cut out the segment because
I know.
I can't see how long could it have been?
I wasn't that long. It wasn't like an hour long. And they were showing clips of everything. So they couldn't have shown clips. Yeah, look at me. Hi. Yeah, that was it. This is it. I mean,
looks great. Looks like a good clip.
I just I didn't understand, why it was cut out. I don't know. It's one of the times I actually won the bikini contest.
But that's another thing I was interested in because we've watched one or two of them in our duration together. I was actually looking for an episode where we watched one, I think, from White Plains from years ago, where we watched the house show footage that somebody fan cammed, and you lost that one, right? Because you're playing the heel. But this is one where you're the uber baby face. You're absolutely going to win this one no matter what. And I'm like, you can't get the adulation of seeing this clip. Like, come on.
No, I can't be put over. Sorry about that. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but it was a little disappointing. It's like, people were disappointed in the chat. Everybody was like, why didn't you show it? It would have been nice if they gave an explanation, but they was just blatantly cut out. So I don't know what happened, but, seeing the rest of the show was fun though. But it was very choppy. Like they didn't show full matches. I think the only person who really got a entrance was maybe Big Show, because Dreamer had called him out. Of course, you saw all of Dreamer's promo. And then Paul comes out, and then Paulie talked, and I don't know. Very choppy.
And they were really trying to build up Kurt Angle and RVD as the main event here. This is why they're broadcasting the show. Not like Kurt Angle and RVD may have had a couple of matches throughout time, in WWE and TNA, but I get it. It's in the ECW arena.
Right.
And if we go back to 2006, there's another thing that we can talk about here that we had questions about, and it was the fact that this show was June 24th, but you guys were back less than 2 weeks later in Philadelphia. And so you weren't included on this broadcast, but then that show that came back in 2 weeks, as we were talking about it, we found out you weren't even on a TV taping that was 2 weeks later in Philly.
I don't remember going to the Wachovia Center.
So that's crazy. I can't believe that.
I mean, maybe I was there, but I don't remember going there at all for this show. So I don't know. And again, you guys know my memory is not good. So there's a possibility I was there, but if you had to ask me, I would say no, I did not go to that show. And it was Philadelphia, which is very
it was a great show. I was there. It was July 4th, 2006. Tailgated in a parking lot, had a great time. It was just an unbelievable experience. And you got a title change because RVD and Sabu had gotten pulled over on the way home from a show, and RVD got stripped of first the ECW title and then the WWE title about 2 weeks later. So we got a title change on that show, but the show was billed as just ECW. It wasn't a SmackDown taping. It was just an ECW show. So you got Dreamer and Just Incredible on the show. You got, Roadkill was on the show. And I think Al Snow versus Stevie Richards. Like, it was legit just the ECW guys that were on the show. So I can't imagine why you wouldn't have been used on it.
I don't know
at all. Because I was there. You weren't on it. You were not. You didn't pop up. You weren't in somebody's corner. You were not there at all.
Did the girls do anything?
Not a thing.
Oh, well, maybe they didn't bring the girls in for that show. And that's why
it's so weird.
I know.
It's a TV taping, right? It was the Tuesday night taping, but it had a show built around it. It had dark matches, and I believe it had a post-match, post-main event show as well. That one I could be wrong about. I don't solidly remember that. Yeah. But I mean, it was a big deal. So that show at the ECW arena, they realized they can't run there anymore after this house show because they couldn't handle the WWE production. So they had to move to Wachovia Center, which is why that show was so odd for it to be at Wachovia 2 weeks later after they ran the arena.
Yeah, because they couldn't get TV out of it.
No, they couldn't. It would have probably burnt the building down at that point.
Well, yeah, I don't know. A lot of my memory's foggy from, back then. But if they didn't have any girls on the show, then maybe that's why none of us were brought in. I don't know. I don't remember. So weird. But you think they would have at least shown. I mean, how risque is a bikini contest? Like, that's so stupid. You can't air that. They'll air lesbian segments, but they won't air a bikini contest. Like, stupid. I don't know. Just my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? I think you did.
This was the show. I'll read you the results.
Which show?
It was of the Wachovia Center show. Tuesday, July 4th, 2006. All right, we got this stupid thing has to be. All right, Roadkill defeats Tony Mamaluke. I mean, again, that's super ECW. I don't know why this is. CM Punk defeats C.W. Anderson. Sabu defeats Stevie Richards. Tommy Dreamer defeats Just Incredible. Mike Knock defeats Little Guido. Test defeats Al Snow. And Big Show defeats RVD for the ECW Championship. Huh. So I had two of my matches mixed up, but I mean, come on, that's not a bad show.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
That's crazy.
Couldn't tell you. Wasn't there. Who knows?
What do you remember about the RVD Sabu incident?
I don't remember anything about it. I just remember them saying, they got pulled over. Cop stopped them. Weed or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it was weed, and there was body cam footage that was released at the time. And,
I don't know if I even seen that.
It's been years. It's probably still floating out there somewhere, but yeah, that was a big deal. RVD was getting that huge push, and they chopped him off at the knees. I think he might have lost the WWE title to Edge afterwards. But it's just, it sucked because it felt like that cut ECW even more off at the knees.
I wonder if that triggered the wellness policy with the piss test and stuff.
Well, it's hard to say because there was so much going on during that 06, 07.
Yeah, I don't. Frame. I just know the one time they told me, "Oh, you don't even have to pee." I was like, "Thanks."
You sure?
I'm like, "Yo, you don't even know what I do back home." It's like I
kind of had to go too. You sure?
Yeah. No, I just that's unfortunate, you know. But he bounced back from it. He's fine now. He's doing well.
He's doing all right.
He's doing pretty good.
He's doing okay. How about back to the vault footage that they did show? They did have one solid clip of found footage, they called it. So we got to see some of the behind the scenes stuff that you had talked about that you might want to see. What did you think about what they had unearthed in that like 15-minute clip?
The other clip that they showed?
Yes, the other one that
the other video. Oh, that was fun to watch. I wasn't involved in that one, but that was fun to watch that footage because I had never seen that before either. The best is at the end when Meanie farts.
Yeah.
Stevie. That was funny. That kind of stuff to me is like gold. That is so rare and such a treat. Because you see us in our characters all the time, but you don't get a chance, especially with the ECW guys, because nowadays, like WWE has so much production with their extra shows that are behind the scenes. So not only do you know the character, but you get to know a little bit about the real person because they're being interviewed and they're being, drove around in the car, the road trips, the ride along segments. Like you get to see them as real people. With us, that never really happened because we didn't have any of those extra shows. Unless you met us at a signing or something, that's the only real way you got to see how we were in real life. So seeing these shows give you a little glimpse of, again, behind the scenes of what ECW was and the real people behind it. So seeing the guys at Ron Buffone's house, like every time we went there, that's what we did. The studio was this tiny, tiny little room that we would all be in, and Paulie would be cutting it. Cutting the show, and there was a leather couch right behind where he sat. Yep. We'd be sitting on that leather couch, all of us. There'd be like 10 of us crammed in that room, just hanging out, watching what he made. Or we would be in the dining room, and his mother would be giving us food. And if you walked a little bit, there was a couch, and sometimes I'd sleep on that couch. And then that's when Joey Styles would come in at 6 a.m. and I would have to get up, go do my makeup and get ready for my, promos with Shane because that's when he was hurt. You couldn't work. And that's where Paul's standing right now in that little room. I don't know if it was a den. I don't know what it was called, but it was the production room.
Yeah, that's crazy. It looks like somebody's study or something.
Yeah. And then you had to go down into the basement where the ECW banner was always hanging. And sometimes his mom would be ironing. She'd be in the background and she'd have her ironing board and she'd be like doing laundry and ironing and we'd be like standing there doing our stuff. That's how it was. It was kind of like mom and popish.
Yeah, that's cool.
I loved it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Here's a little bit more of the inside. There was this.
He was trying to rip the phone book.
Yeah.
So and he was throwing melons or something. They were throwing melons down the street and look, he's just eating food on the floor. Tommy Dreamer eating food? What? Get out of here.
But I mean, look at the tapes. I mean, that's ECW's library right there. That's incredible.
Exactly. That was the room. If you walk, see where the arm is. I don't know who that. I think that's Rick's arm.
Yeah, that's Rude's arm right there.
Walking that way, there's a long leather couch, and we all used to sit on that leather couch, and then they'd be in front of the monitors, cutting the show. We'd just be sitting there, waiting to see what we had to do. So this is, if you haven't seen this footage, it's fun. It's a good 17 minutes of fun. Out of the element, out of our element, so to speak.
Yeah, there was that. I mean, there was, behind the scenes of
and the fans,
the candle, the fans,
fans cutting promos and putting us over and loving the show, and it's great. And
I thought this was cool too.
The Derby.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
I actually made a comment in the comments section, and the last time I looked, it had over 500 likes, and people.
Oh wow!
I don't know what it's up to now because I haven't looked at it in a while, but fans were just thanking me continuously in this thread, and I did reply to all of them. Now there might be new ones, I don't know, because it's been like a week since I checked, but that was nice. It's nice to be admired or thanked or whatever you want to call it. So it's a fun video.
Well, if you came from watching that video to this channel, then you made a great choice.
Yeah, thanks for coming over. And look, if you're not following me on iHeartRadio, please do so. If you're not subscribed on Spotify or Apple, please do so. If you're not subscribed on YouTube at ECW Diva Francine, please do so. The content that we have is really, really fun. We put a lot of time and effort into it. We have some great guests lined up for 2025. I have someone coming on the show for next week that I've never had before. And I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So just, keep tuning in, keep supporting us. And again, I hope everybody has a great new year. Do you have anything that you want to plug before we head out?
Just keep hitting the YouTube, hitting the iHeart, support the show, tweet us. Hit us up on Instagram. For me, it's at ChatEMB on X and at IB Exclusives on Instagram, and interact. There's also an email too. It's all podcast questions at gmail.com. If you have something you want to say, there's a just dire question you want to get off your chest, throw it out there. Maybe we can get to it in one of these episodes coming up, but new year, new style, new format. Let's do it. We're holding nothing back this year. So let's bring it on. Let's do it.
That. If you want to follow me across the board on social media, you can find me at ECW Diva Francine. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying healthy. And most of all, I hope you are staying extreme. Hey there, it is the Queen of Extreme Francine from ECW. Do you want to see more of me? Click over here to watch another video, or click over here to listen to my podcast.